In the mountains of western North Carolina, where the Little Tennessee River bends south through ancient hollows, stands a wall of concrete 480 feet tall. It is the tallest dam east of the Mississippi, and it was built in less than 3 years. That fact alone commands attention, but the story behind it reaches deeper, into the economics of a struggling region, the urgency of a world at war, and the ambitions of engineers who had never attempted anything quite like it. By the early 1940s, the Tennessee Valley Authority had already reshaped much of the American South. The agency had brought electricity to rural communities long starved of it, tamed floods, and transformed the landscape. But the outbreak of World War II raised the stakes dramatically. Aluminum was the essential metal of modern warfare. Without it, there were no planes. And producing aluminum required enormous quantities of electricity. The Aluminum Company of America, Alcoa, had been eyeing the Little Tennessee River since around 1910, recognizing its extraordinary potential. 2 of its dams already sat downstream, but the Fontana site, remote, rugged, sitting below the steep southern face of the Great Smoky Mountains, remained undeveloped. Negotiations between Alcoa and TVA stretched through the late 1930s. TVA wanted the project. Alcoa wanted TVA to build it, but federal funding proved elusive until the moment history forced the issue. On August 14, 1941, the 2 organizations signed the Fontana Agreement. TVA gained possession of the site and control over the river's output. Alcoa was guaranteed the electrical benefit for at least 20 years. Congress authorized the funds on December 17, 1941, 10 days after Pearl Harbor. Construction began on January 1, 1942. What followed was a feat of organized human effort almost beyond comprehension. The project required the purchase of more than 68,000 acres of land. Over 1,300 families were uprooted. More than 1,000 graves were relocated. 60 miles of roads disappeared beneath the rising water. The towns of Fontana, Bushnell, Fornah, and Judson ceased to exist. A temporary workers' village called Welch Cove was built just south of the dam. By 1943, 5,000 workers lived there, despite crippling wartime labor shortages. That village survives today as Fontana Village, still operating as a resort, some of its original 1940s structures still standing. The dam they built is staggering in scale, 2,365 feet long, 480 feet high, nearly 3 million cubic yards of concrete. The engineering challenges were not merely logistical, they were thermodynamic. TVA engineers understood that so much concrete, curing in such mass, would trap its own heat for years. That trapped heat would eventually fracture the structure from within. To solve the problem, they divided the dam into sections separated by construction joints, threading them with grout pipes and cooling coils to draw the heat out as the concrete set. The spillway presented its own problem. Water falling 400 feet from the dam's crest would tear apart the foundation below. Engineers responded with an unconventional solution: 2 enormous spill pipes, each 34 feet in diameter, channeling the flow through a diversion tunnel equipped with a deflection system that scattered the water's force before it could cause damage. The overall design is credited largely to Roland Wank, TVA's chief architect, whose hand shaped not just Fontana's function, but its form. The dam closed its gates on November 11, 1904. 2 generating units came online on January 20, 1945. In the final months of the war, Fontana's turbines fed power directly to aluminum production. The dam cost $70 million, nearly $1 billion in today's terms. It was completed on time, under pressure, against the odds. The legacy of Fontana is written across the landscape of western North Carolina. More than 40,000 acres along the lake's northern shore were transferred to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Additional land along the south shore passed to the U.S. Forest Service. The Appalachian Trail now crosses the top of the dam itself, one of the most dramatic crossings along its entire 2,000-mile length. The lake it created, Fontana, covers over 10,000 acres and holds 238 miles of shoreline, its waters feeding into the heart of one of the most visited national parks in America. But not all of the legacy is clean. The flooding of the North Shore destroyed a road connecting Deals Gap and Bryson City, and the National Park Service promised Swain County a replacement. That promise became a wound. By 1972, only 7 miles of the new road had been built. Environmental concerns halted it entirely. Locals began calling it the road to nowhere. The dispute dragged on for decades until 2007, when Swain County accepted a $52 million settlement and abandoned its claim. The final payment arrived in 2018. The road was never built. The dam itself has required constant attention. Cracks appeared in its face as early as 1949, caused by thermal expansion and a chemical reaction within the concrete that slowly increases its volume. Engineers have periodically cut expansion slots into the structure, a kind of controlled release valve for stresses that never fully resolve. The last cuts were made in 2016. The work continues. Fontana Dam endures, a monument to wartime urgency, engineering courage, and the complicated bargains a nation makes when it builds something meant to last forever. If you found this history worth knowing, subscribe for more stories of human ambition in steel, stone, and concrete.